welcome to episode 122 of the Alfa Romeo Driver Podcast, brought to you by the Alfa Romeo Owners Club. I'm Guy Swarbrick, and with me I have GT Registrar Nathan Mahoney and 159 Registrar Debbie Lindsey to talk about their new lives as social media stars. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Guy.
It's great to have you both here. I know you've both been really busy, and we're going to spend most of the podcast talking about what you are doing, what you have done, what you will be doing on social media. But there's a bit of a backstory before that, which I think our listeners will be interested in. So before you became the social media dynamic duo, how did you two get to meet?
Interesting, that.
Yeah, very.
It must have been NAD. How many years ago? 3?
I'll say 4. I think it was 4. Yeah, I think it was 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just passing glances, wasn't it? Because we were different model registrars. I don't think we even communicated.
Well, I think I said hello.
Yeah, I think we did the polite bit and sort of said hello. I think there was that initial awkwardness, as if to say, like, we're both new to our roles. How do we speak to each other?
Yeah. Because there was a lot of that.
I've never worked that out, and I'm 2 model registrars, so I have to talk to myself, which makes it even more difficult. So that was the kind of first meeting, but then I think both of you are not unique, but unusual as registrars in that you both go to quite a lot of effort to put on events for members of the register, and it's becoming more popular. But I think you were, along with the 916 guys, the kind of pioneers of doing it, and Julia Register and other people have sort of cottoned on to that. But I think you both did things separately and then kind of saw what each other were doing and joined forces.
It was pretty much like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I think I was GT registrar just a couple of months before you got appointed, 159.
Yeah,
and I think
we were both newbies at the same time, weren't we?
We were very much. Yeah, I think I did a meet or one GT sort of. It was the anniversary, I think, for the GT, and I remember you getting in contact with me saying how good it was, and that you wanted to do something similar with the 159 group, and it was sort of like, but how do you start? How do you get the confidence to actually do it? How do you communicate to various people? Because we're both quite similar in the ways that our backgrounds are. So we're both quite shy, and we're both quite like
that comes across a lot.
Yeah, I bet it does. Yeah, I bet it does.
But seriously, we both get really anxious and overthink things with the planning of our model registrars events. So we will both go back and forth with each other and say, what do you think of this? Do you think this will work? What if the weather is rubbish? Really random, silly stuff. I think we sort of buddied up to give each other moral support, and it's sort of worked, hasn't it, really?
Well, and I think the thing that impresses me is that it's kept going, because lots of people have run the occasional event. I've spent time planning events, not really run a successful one yet for either of my registers, but I think it is unusual amongst the register community. Obviously, David Faithful was another one that was very good at doing that kind of thing when he was the Mito registrar. But Nathan, I first met you at that Yorkshire Alpha Day, which I think was, or Northern Alpha Day, whichever it was. It was a Yorkshire Alpha Day, wasn't it?
Was that the one with all the rain?
2021, wasn't it?
So when you still had the 159 in the grass field near the safari park. And ever since I've known you, I've been impressed by your energy and enthusiasm and waiting for it to run out. And it hasn't yet.
He's like a child that is a permanent stash of sweets. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I love the brand, I love the club, and I love the people in it. So I think when you've got those 3, it's kind of hard not to be enthusiastic about what you're doing. I think, and what I found with the GT register is that for a long time it was pretty much dead. And then sort of I got appointed, and because I used to post constantly about my GT story, good, the bad, the ugly, and people really liked the enthusiasm. So I think people have just sort of rode that wave with me till now. And then they go, I've had people come from all over the UK for a GT event.
Well, and people were quite invested on several occasions in stopping you from selling it.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anytime I had like a bit of a mishap with it, or someone keyed it, for example, I think enthusiasm rubs off. It really does. So if you're passionate,
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. So if you're passionate, people can't help but think, oh, I think I fancy a bit of that. Or the next time he does something, I'll go and support it.
Again, people won't generally know this, but we did a section secretaries and registrars meeting 2.5 years ago, roughly, where we created a list of 200 and something ideas for people to go away and do. Section secretaries and registrars take away and do. And I think you had about 30 things on that list.
Yeah, or maybe it was 35. I don't know. It was a lot. It was a lot. I came away with a lot of homework. Yeah.
It was about, I think it was about 1 in 6 of the ideas were a dual name rider.
Yeah, and I would like to think that I've done a lot of them, about 80%.
of them. Some of them in the last 3 weeks, but yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
So, in a way, I think that was part of the genesis of what we're going to talk about. But how did the idea of press ganging you two into creating social media content so that none of the rest of us had to, how did that come about?
I think it's been spoken about a few years ago, not necessarily us, but as the club itself, moving the social media side forward with the time, so to speak. And that was, what was it, 2023, Nathan? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes. I was at Chatham Dock for Southern Alpha Day with David Faithful, and he came up to me and we just got speaking, and he sort of said, we were just talking about the club and, you know, how great it is that everyone was there, and the club seems to get really, really good attendance at events and stuff. And then I think we just sort of said in passing, it'd be cool if the club was a bit more active on the social media front, taking things a bit forward into the 21st century and doing more modern styles of social media. So like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube especially, that was a big one for me, because I was like, the club should be doing it, even though a lot of other car clubs, of which there are not many nowadays, but a lot of them don't do don't do any social media at all. So I was like, we could be...
I'm always impressed isn't the right word. I was always amazed when I looked at the stats for subscribers and views for the videos on our channel, which, you know, there aren't enough of them, they don't get enough views, all of those things. But you then compare them to other clubs, and actually, using that as a benchmark, they're not bad, but that's the wrong benchmark, as we've discussed. So so just almost overnight, 3 years later, that conversation's turned into a little video factory. So before we start talking about what you've done and what you're planning to do, what goals, if any, have you set for what you're trying to do kind of over what period of time?
That's a question and a half.
That's a question. I think for me, the main goal is just to get people talking about Alfa Romeo again. I just want people to be proud of the cars that they own. Yeah. And hopefully if they see someone on screen that doesn't really know how to put a sentence together, go, oh, great, look how great this car is. It's sort of like an idiot's guide to a Tonale or a GT or wherever it might be. People might go, oh, I've got one of those, or I was thinking about one of those, but look how enthusiastic he is about it. And as long as, like I said about before, enthusiasm rubs off. So if you can make people proud about the cars that they own and the club they're in, then hopefully that will go some way towards making Alfa Romeo the awesome brand that it already is, but putting it more into the public front. Because let's be honest, amongst the youth or the younger members, Alfa Romeo is sort of like a company that was spoken about in hushed tones by their dad or their granddad or whatever. Alfa Romeo hasn't got that fan base of the youth that it should have. And I think if most people drove an Alfa Romeo, most people would love it.
Definitely.
So that's my approach, and that's what I'm trying to get across.
You don't know until you try it.
Yeah.
Basically. And as a club, we are very community based. We are actually like one big family. So all the model registrars and the secretaries, we may not see each other at every event. We may not know of each other necessarily, but if we needed help or we needed advice, they are there like that in an instant. And the support is great. Yeah. The support network across the board for the club is brilliant. And we want to get that out there, basically. We want people to feel like, wow, actually, I need to get myself an Alpha because it's just brilliant, isn't it?
Or if they're current members of the club, they need to get themselves another Alpha.
You can never have one Alpha.
You're in education, Debbie. There is a formula for the right number of Alphas to own, which is the formula is that the right number of Alphas to own is N+1, where N is the number of Alphas you currently own.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's kind of the why and the general direction. How's that turning into reality? So what have you done so far?
Nathan's done most of the groundwork, to be fair. We spent was it nearly 2 hours on the phone?
I think
it was. I felt sorry for our partners, to be fair, because literally once we started with ideas, they just kept coming. And then we started giggling about them, going, well, actually, if we did this, we could do this also. And that would then make a great video for TikTok down that route. And it was just endless. And actually got to a point where I was like, Nathan, I need to go to bed now.
Yeah.
Those lunchtime calls are murder.
But it was literally...
Yeah, when they finished at 1 a.m.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But we've got lots of ideas to go on. We wanted to start off, obviously, with reviews initially. And so I'm not technical. I put my hands up. I haven't got a clue about anything. No, joking. I know my own vehicle in and out. But you asked me to give any tech spec on another Alpha, might be able to give you one or two facts, but I'm not nearly as informative as Nathan on this. So I was focusing on the whole car show side of the club and how the community sort of spirit and coming together evolves around that. So I sort of took that on board. Initially, didn't go too well, but that's because inexperience, and we are learning as we go. It is all new to us, and I'm not exactly young myself, so I'm literally pushing myself all the time, but you learn as you go. You're never too to learn something new. And with my trusty sidekick, Nathan, anything's possible. And you've then taken under your wing, so to speak, to do the reviews on certain models.
Yeah.
We are looking to get different models.
That's it, yeah.
But yeah, it's work in progress, isn't it, Nathan?
To date, I've done 3 reviews. I've edited your Spring Alpha Day. I've got 2 coming up very soon this week, and I've got about 5 lined up as well.
As we speak, it's Thursday evening. So I know this goes out on a Sunday afternoon. So 2 more this week would be impressive. But
so by the time by the time this goes out, there'll be 5 uploaded on the channel. But that's not including.
Really? Is that including the ones that like Scottish Italian Day?
No, it's not actually. So there'll be 6. There should be 6. So if there's not 6, something's going to.
So without ruining any surprises, the first one was the Tonale Ibrida, as it is now called, apparently MHEV, as we've called it for the last, or hybrid called it for the last 3 years. There was the GT, the famous, relatively recently acquired Busso GT.
That's kind of one.
What, yours or the 3.7 that it was in the third video that you seem quite enthusiastic about?
Yeah, they say you can't improve on perfection, but they have. So
when you get to drive the supercharged one, that could be the full.
Yeah, well,
you need to stop smiling, because I know.
Yeah.
Well, I'll never forget
that's your next Alpha, then, isn't it?
The period of time between the first time you drove the V6 GT and wrote an article for the magazine saying, this is amazing, it's been a dream, but I'm not sure I'll ever have one myself. And then 6 weeks later, something like that.
Yeah, pretty much. 6 weeks later. Yeah, couldn't stop thinking about it, and that was it. But
yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
So there's those 3.
Yeah. You get an itch, you've got to scratch it.
Spring Alpha Day and Scottish Italian Car Day. So that leaves one more for 6.
Yeah.
We've got Southwest Alpha Day, which will be me and Nathan's first joint on screen film.
Yeah, on screen. Yeah. But this week I've come in is it's Alfa Romeo's little Mito review.
Okay.
Which I've got lined up.
With a capital T in the middle of Mito.
There you go. Yeah. So if you're a Mito owner or looking at Mitos, then that'll probably be a video for you.
Brilliant.
Our second vehicle is a Mito, so I'm going to be watching you like a hawk, Nathan.
There you go.
Your second full-size one and your second radio control one.
Oh, yeah. My RC,
So that's I've kind of lost track. There's 4 car ones and 3 event ones so far.
Yeah.
Events have been coming thick and fast. I presume you've got some stuff planned for, I think there's a small event at Vista Motion in August.
Yep.
Oh,
National
a tiny little one.
Just a small one.
Yeah.
Not worth mentioning that one, to be fair. Yeah.
When you talked about doing Southwest Alpha Day as a duo, you might have to divide and conquer for National Alpha Day, because it's a lot of ground to cover.
We're going to come up with a game plan.
Oh yeah,
literally, because we still want to experience the atmosphere of the show and not consume ourselves with recording, obviously we want to let the world see how awesome National Alpha Day and how massive it is. But obviously we don't want to lose sight of our registrars engaging with our members and obviously just walking around and enjoying the show ourselves.
Yeah.
So we will divide and conquer that one.
Yeah. But on that note, I will say that at the shows, we do intend, and we would kindly ask if people are comfortable enough to have a little, 2-3 minute interview, talk about their car a bit, that would be brilliant, because it will also show how what we know already to be true, but we'll also show how welcoming and friendly the club actually is. And that's one of the things I love the most about the club is the people in it. Like, we are truly unique in that. Yeah, we are truly unique actually in that regard. Whereas I've not spoken to a bad A-Rock member yet, to be fair. They're all really friendly, all really polite. And they're all also so happy to show off their cars. So, if you do see us, me and Debbie, walking around at one of the shows, feel free to come up to us,
Literally, I had a guy come up to me at Spring Alpha Day. I was just doing my intro and he went, "You must be Debbie." And I had to stop recording. I was like, "Yeah, thanks, mate."
Yeah.
I didn't want to be rude. But it's nice that people are now recognising us and are confident to come up and talk to us. Don't look at this face and think, "Oh, I'm really not as mean as I look."
For those people listening to the audio version of the podcast, which is most people, Debbie's not at all scary.
Yeah.
Depends who you talk to.
The people who are watching the video version, then you make your own minds up. But for the rest of it,
don't ask any of my 159 members because they'll just say I'm a complete nutcase. But they all do as they're told, and I can't fault them, to be fair. They're a brilliant bunch of people, and they do as they're told. So they behave on the Facebook group and everything else. And when we arrange meets, they're all really nice and engaging with each other. It's not standoffish. And it's like that in, I think, every sort of a rock event that you go to. You don't have that sort of static, I'm just going to stand by my car and hope someone even looks at it. It's not like that. Everybody mingles. And that's what I actually really like, because you can just, even if someone's not even looking at you and they're standing by a car, you can just go and stand next to them and go, "Isn't that a beauty?" And then it just starts them talking.
We were talking, I think before we started recording, but if not, people will remember it better than I do, about the fact that you both describe yourself as kind of shy individuals.
Yeah.
Which is obviously not the way you come across. I know my wife says to me quite often that I don't talk to people. I don't really like people. Except when I'm at Alpha events. When I talk the hind legs off a donkey to anybody who'll listen, and even people who don't really want to listen. But I think it's that shared passion, isn't it?
Yeah. Once you've owned an Alpha and you've driven an Alpha, it literally gets in your veins. So if you ever had the unfortunate circumstances to be without an Alpha, and I've seen it happen so often, people either get rid of their Alpha or they've had an accident and they're without an Alpha, they go to another brand, they always come back. Or they keep that other vehicle and then get an Alpha alongside it. So it's just great because it literally gets in your veins.
It does.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. On the shyness thing, though, I know it might be hard to tell, but genuinely it is something that we've spoken hours and hours about. Personally, on the personal,
I literally feel sick.
Yeah. Honestly, it's a big thing.
Before an event.
Just before that record button starts or something, or before someone comes up to me, honestly, I'm trembling. Like I'm gone. But
I think that's healthy. I do my own training courses for a living, and I'm still nervous before I start. But I think it gives you that kind of
you get then that
energy,
adrenaline to then give it your all.
Yeah.
Passion.
If you're not nervous, you probably end up coming across as overconfident and arrogant. And you mentioned that you've got plans in place for National Alpha Day. So we've talked about two very different types of video, the event videos and the kind of review videos. And I know there's a kind of third type of video coming, which is more of a, without giving away too much, more of a challenge than a straight review. Yeah. So if we look at the two that you've done so far, what's involved in planning and shooting, and as a podcast presenter and editor, my least favourite bit, editing those videos?
Obviously, there's a lot of of work in it. There is a lot of work. To produce the videos I've done so far, it's about 3 days. Also, from shooting is about a 14-hour day. The Tonale was 14 hours. My GT was 15 hours. And I think the Auto Delta, we were on a really tight budget for that, but that was, tight timeline. That was 8 hours, but that was really rushing, because it's not our car. They're lending it to us for a very short period of time. Yeah. You have to respect their time, the car, everything like that. So getting all of that stuff is really difficult. Knowing what to say. Unfortunately, I have the ability to talk for England on camera. There is about
Really? Can you tell?
There is literally about 7 hours worth of footage that I have to go through and go, no, we can't use that. We can't use that. And even though it might be relevant or interesting or whatever it might be, there isn't time. And you've probably seen the timestamps on YouTube. They are long videos. So I'm aware that I need to sort of do some work there, but this is all new. So
one of my favorite quotes, which it's often said to be Mark Twain, although there's other people who it's attributed to, which is apologies for the length of the letter, but I didn't have time to write a short one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How do you stop?
Knowing what to cut out is much harder than knowing what to put in, because there's no shortage of things to talk about, as you say.
And when you're trying to convey across the screen passion, enthusiasm, it's like, well, how much is too much? And there's a very fine line between sort of rambling and being entertaining. But I always try and approach every video I do with the premise of, I just want this to be a laugh. I want it to be a good time. I don't want people to feel like they're getting a lecture. Like, for example, as much as I love his videos and I'm a massive fan of him, like if you watch Harry's Garage sometimes on YouTube, if you know what I'm talking about, sometimes he'll get the most interesting car there is and he'll go on a little bit about the technical stuff and the specs. And it's like, well, all I want to know is how it makes you feel. Does it put a smile on your face? And what are your feelings and emotions behind the wheel of such a thing? And that's what I'm trying to do.
And that is what driving an Alpha is, isn't it? It's the feeling.
Well, yeah, unless you're Harry. I will never forgive him for his Julia GTAM video, which is one of the...
Because he had the Jaguar Project next to him. And he owned that car as well. So biases aside.
Well, and was involved in the project, as I understand it. But talks about, disparagingly talks about the sales when the GTAM had sold out, and I think they struggled to sell 38 Project 8s. Anyway, people like Harry.
I really do like Harry. Yeah, I do like him. But sometimes, especially with Alfa Romeo, above all other brands, I think passion is key. Like if you're a numbers person and you look at you do the sort of top trumps when you're looking at what car to buy, and Alfa is probably going to be quite low down on your list. But if you're the sort of person that likes to be engaged, buy something sort of like a heart overhead matter, then Alfa is probably for you. And that's what I try and get across on screen, because if I sat there and went, okay, well, this car's got X horsepower, this is the brake horsepower, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, but a BMW M3, for example, if you're comparing it to my GT, has about over 100 horsepower more, it's faster to 60. So why would I buy a GT? But the aim of the GT is a driver's car. It's focused on
And I'm sorry, but there should be no comparison. Alfa Romeo are in a league of their own. Simple.
Exactly. Well said, Debbie. Well said. Yeah.
So, and until you've tried even a test drive or had a car of some sort, or driven a friend's car, you can't really badmouth the brand because you don't actually know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
So, basically you have to just try an Alfa Romeo. Simple.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I'm interested. You spend a lot of hours filming, and then what happens?
Yeah, so actually editing is my favourite bit, which is...
Is it?
Probably, it really is. I do like going through the edit.
Because I thought you were scared initially.
I was, because I don't actually... I've never used an editing studio on a video before, so I had absolutely no idea how any of them works, and I still don't. So you might have seen through the 3 videos I've done, the Tonale started off with very sharp cuts between scenes, and the GT has got more transitions. And now the 3.7 Auto Delta's got more transitions, more sort of overlay, and it looks a little bit more tidier. So I'm learning as I go. It's all a process, but I like that.
If you enjoy it, I've got about 40 hours of video I can send you.
But I do like the idea of sitting down with a cup of tea and creating a story from the film shoot before, because I always like to edit the day after because it's fresh in my mind. And usually while I'm filming, I've already got an idea of how I want each section of the video to look anyway. But to create a story out of just raw material, I find quite exciting. And then you get to the end of it and it's all sort of, you press the export button and it's all come together and you watch it again and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. I hope that the message gets across of what I'm trying to portray, So I quite like it.
Whereas I have no experience in editing and I haven't even looked at it, let alone tried it. Maybe one day. It's still early days for us.
Well, if you've got somebody who enjoys it that you can outsource it to, why would you learn?
I mean, I did hijack your subtitles on your Spring Alpha Days video. So I wanted to know how many people would realise who it was.
What is frustrating, though, with subtitles that YouTube do, why can't they get the spelling of alpha correct?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's ALPHA or something. And it's just like, what are you doing?
It's not even just alpha, because it quite often comes up as an Alpha Romero or you were just...
And the Julia
we're still learning.
Or something. Yeah.
It's very frustrating. Yeah. We know how to spell all these things, but we're still learning. Whereas I don't do anything with my content. I palm it all back to Nathan.
Thanks.
I just spend the day filming an event, and then I'll go through the camera roll and actually go, no, I'm not sending that. And no, that's got me swearing. I will remove that. Yeah. And then, or it's got my son stealing my car at Spring Alpha Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. And then I send the rest over for you to work your magic, don't I?
Yeah, I'll try to.
Sometimes. Yeah. I mean, my first one was a bit of a washout at Brooklands.
It was still good, but there was far too much traffic in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were the only person who managed to film me going up the hill in the Tonale, so I was very grateful
on that
for
one.
that.
And actually, I enjoyed filming the hill climbs because there was just such an atmosphere either side of the hill, and everyone was buzzing for every car that went up and cheering on the ones that didn't even make it up the hill. It was just brilliant atmosphere. I did find it hard because that event was so busy to actually get proper content of the vehicles, but that was my first trial run, so nothing really lost. It was a learning curve and we moved on. I took on board comments and feedback from people for the next one, and then I started waffling like Nathan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh dear. So we will see when we come to do our joint one just how crazy we will be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All fun and games.
So my next part of the conversation was going to be about what you've learned so far, and you've talked about some of that already. So I always like to give people a challenge as the ending to the conversation. So from each of you, what's the one thing you've learned so far that you think you can take forward into the ones you're going to do later on? And then the second part of the question is, what's your big ambition? What do you really want to do during the rest of the year in terms of social media stuff?
To be honest, I think it's going to sound really cheesy, but for a long time, I thought I wasn't capable of doing things like this for various reasons. Like, I've got mental health background and all that stuff. And for a long time, I thought, these sort of things are just beyond my capabilities. I think the thing I've learned the most is probably to be confident in what you're doing. And if you're confident in what you're doing, the chances are someone at home is watching and they're really liking what you're trying to do. So I would say for anybody sort of listening that wants to get more involved with their alpha and be more involved with the club and do stuff, no matter what sort of your limitations are, even if 1% of something is better than 0% of nothing. So just go for it. Do what you got to do. And most people will love it.
And I think that confidence really comes across and is justified.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
So that's the learning. What about the ambition?
Ambition, to be honest, it's kind of really cheesy again.
Domination.
World domination. But my ambition is technically already happened with the first video we did. The fact that we got that out and the club backed it and really was on board with the whole social media side and really, really pushing for it and getting...
Yeah, the thing about ambition Nathan, is you've got to keep raising the bar. So well done on the first one. What's the next one?
Right, what's next? What's next? Come on.
Okay, so the ultimate ambition, maybe not for next year, but for coming soon, will probably be a drive from here to Italy and film in the museum. That will be the ultimate ambition to get to do that.
That's not even just an ambition. We've both separately had the dream of going to the museum.
Yeah.
But now that we're doing the social media side, it might have a nice spin on that.
Yeah, and we think people might like to see it.
Yeah.
Just in terms of the edit for that, definitely more stuff needs to be left on the cutting room floor than goes into that one. Because I would probably watch the 7-day version, but most people probably wouldn't.
It might have to be like a film premiere or something. Talking. Yeah, get the popcorn out and watch it. Yeah, turn into a film.
But lots of nice cutaways of scenery and stuff on route.
That'd be the goal.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, we're always going to be looking to do something different with each and every video.
Yeah.
Therefore, challenging ourselves, pushing ourselves, and obviously pushing the brand at the same time. So Yeah. I mean, I've learned diddly squat. No, I'm joking. No, I've learned to be a bit more confident, not be scared, because I had that whole anxiety of, I'm not exactly a spring chicken. I'm walking around with a camera on a stick, talking to myself like a crazy person. But actually, no one cares. No one actually cares. I'm walking around talking to myself, and people are still, they're all, having their chats and natters about their car. And it's great. And occasionally they'll give you a glance as if to say, come talk to me. Or when you've come off camera and they'll go, oh, you must be Debbie, blah, 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 blah. And then we get talking, and you build those relationships that you can then build on later down the line. So I remember such and such at this event, and then you can reach out to them and say, right, I really liked your car and I think you've got a great personality. Would you be up for? So it's building those relationships. I'm finding my confidence on that. But yeah, moving forward, I think we're just going to challenge each other. Yeah. When you're having a bit of a down day because you don't think the video's been good enough, or you don't think the comments have been that great, I'm just there in his ear saying, look, you can't please all the people all of the time. If you're happy with it and the people that matter that are happy with it, then let it roll. There's always going to be haters. Yeah. There's always going to be trolls. That's just the way social media works.
And I think, and it's not just social media. I think, you've always got to go into these things aiming to do as good a job as you can, but then you've got to be quite relaxed about the fact that you won't get it all right. Yeah. Every time we make a mistake in the magazine and we realise after the magazine's gone out that I think the most recent one was a spelling of Guilia instead of Julia. And you realise that it's happened. There's a good history to that. It goes all the way back to the first magazine in 1965. But I've just got to the point now where I think, I do everything I can to not have those things happen. But if they do happen, it means that we get a letter that I can put on the letters page. And, it's if nobody was looking at the content, then nobody would be making any comment.
Definitely.
So, comments are great. Yeah. Even bad comments are great.
Any sort of comment, good. Take it on the chin and deal with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's where we're quite suited, because I don't mean this horribly, Nathan, but you are quite a softie.
Yeah, you're just,
you're that. No. I think you're really down to earth. You're a lovable guy. You're when people get to know you, very outgoing. So you wouldn't necessarily get that shyness. Whereas me, I'm shy, but I am quite hard faced. I know what I want. I know how I want it, and I will get it. So I think that's how I can I work behind the scenes behind Nathan, whispering in his ear, going, look, stop it. Yeah. Come on.
That is true. But that support is brilliant.
You know what you want Nathan to do for you, and
you'll
get him
exactly.
to do
it. Yeah. But seriously though, it is a sort of, we have that sort of relationship where I really do appreciate that, because you've been there where, especially with the first video when that first went out, and I was like, oh gosh, is it good enough? Are people going to absolutely rinse me in the comments? Like, you are sort of...
And I literally said to you, did I not?
Yeah, you did.
I will have your back.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, but
just don't overthink it and just roll with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and learn from it.
Definitely. And that is everyone, Nathan does, not we do. Learn from it. Yeah. And I even give Nathan feedback on the videos, don't I?
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
If I think particular things worked well, or if I think, oh, actually, you should, maybe next time, can you try that? And you were like, oh yeah, that's a shout, isn't it?
Yeah. It's true. Yeah.
So,
and that, again, I think that's what feedback's for. Again, if people didn't care, they wouldn't bother giving you any feedback. I think just take it all and filter it. And some of it you think, no, actually, I think I did it right. I'm not gonna change. And other times you think, no, that's good. I'll try that the next time.
When I get a negative comment, I tend not to respond to it, because those type of people are literally fishing for a reaction, and then it spirals. And you don't need that negative energy. And obviously it could backfire on us. You don't need to get in a debate over something that's irrelevant. This is our content, like it or lump it, and we learn from it and move on. We're doing it for the love of the brand. And we're learning as we go.
So we talked a lot about what you're going to do, but I mean, you're doing this for the existing club members and to attract new members to the club and new people to the brand. So what would you like from the members in return?
Their cars.
Their fealty.
All of them.
Their loyalty.
And the keys.
Yeah.
What we'd like from the members, if they are willing, is to talk about their vehicles. Come tell us your backstory. How did you come to have an Alfa? Have you had an Alfa since you were like way high and you've had Alfas all your life? Or are you new to that brand? We want to know your experiences. As you've said before, Nathan, the good, the bad and the ugly, but there's only ever good with an Alfa.
Of course, yeah.
If any members want to showcase their cars, so to speak, they've just got to get in touch. And our email addresses are on the website.
That's 159-register at aroc-uk.com and GT-register at aroc-uk.com. Good, brilliant. So keep those ideas coming, both from the members and from the two of you. And I look forward to seeing more content as it comes.
Oh, yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's it for this episode. You can find those email addresses and links to the first few videos in the show notes. We'll be back in 4 weeks' time with something a little bit different. How to prepare your car for entry into a concours competition with an Aroc concours winner and a couple of the judges you had to make that difficult decision. What are they looking for? What should you spruce up and what should you leave well alone? Episode 123 will be available to download from 1:30 p.m. on Sunday the 5th of July. You should just about have time to listen to it before the British Grand Prix starts. From the club's website, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, Podbean, Podcast Addict, and everywhere else good podcasts are found. Until then, stay safe.